Welcome everyone, this will be board number 107. We will be going over another central cannon with third pawn advancement versus sandwich horse defense variation. So without further ado, let us begin. The central cannon, pawn advancement, and in this board, Black could choose to play e7 plus 5 instead of e3 plus 5, which has been mentioned in the earlier videos. Now this is considered to be a slight improvement over the e3 plus 5 variation, which is also feasible. With e7 plus 5, if you have seen the earlier moves, because if you played e3 plus 5, there will be a tendency for Black to concentrate material on this flank. The battleground will be on this side of the board. 7 plus 5, Black gets to a much more balanced development of his material over here, and also the Chariot can now deal with the issue of this horse being vulnerable to attack by Red's Chariot. So comparatively speaking, e7 plus 5, it's a much more stable formation for Black, allowing for balanced development. There's concentration of material on this side of the board. Usually play r9 plus 1, targeting and trying to offset the effects of this cannon. This would also be the position of discussion for this board. Two main variations, c2 equals to 1 and p1 plus 1. With c2 equals to 1, first variation A, Black chooses to traverse the cannon to the edge file or to develop his chariot as a file chariot. Now this is okay. Now Red would usually counter immediately with r9 equals to 4. Now this would be the correct unsound move. If he played r9 equals to 6, thinking that he could get this file, Black would play r1 and continue with r2 plus 5 to control the bank rank. And suddenly, this chariot would not have any good intersections to move. So Black would gain the initiative. Now, because with r9 plus 4, r9 equals to 4, Black would be forced to move one of the advisors, usually a6 plus 5, to protect the cannon. Positions his chariot very nicely in a very strategic and important intersection on the board. His chariot as planned, and c8 equals to 7 for the 5-7 cannons in this variation. Which is p1 plus 1 to prevent the development of this horse, but Red has to deal with the issue anyway and offers a trade of pawns, which it will be better for Red to accept. If he played c1 plus 3, Red would attack with r2 plus 6, threatening the horse. If the cannon had not moved, as in this case, there will be still a cannon trying to helping out to protect the horse if need be, and have to think twice, because now if attacking the horse was so difficult, the efficiency of this chariot will become discounted. So, and Black would position his chariot at the pawn flank, preparing to play r2 equals to 4 if need be and protect his territory. So at this point in time, Red has the initiative, but Black will still have a playable game. So this would be variation A. In variation B, p1 plus 1 would be played. Now before we continue, would a6 plus 5 as a prophylactic move in preparation for r9 equals to 4 be a good idea? The answer would be no, because now Black would not play r9 equals to 4 and play r9 equals to 6 instead. Now this is a little bit different from the earlier variation, because Black had not moved his chariot yet. So controlling this side of the board with this chariot will now become ideal. p1 plus 1. Move his chariot to the bank, prevent his 3 plus 4 from happening, and Black could now take his time to slowly attack, and Black would be advantage. So that is why p1 plus 1 is played, whereby Black would try to push the pawn across the river and after trading pawns move his chariot to this intersection. Now allow it to happen. R9 goes to 4, 6 plus 5 to protect the cannon. Then play R4 plus 3 to the riverbank. R1 plus 3. Black doubles protects his pawn rank. And red takes his time to consolidate his defense. If he was too eager to play p7 plus 1 after trading pawns, play c2 equals to 1 and black would have the advantage. He will be attacking, doubling down his attack on this file. 2, black offers a sacrifice, a trade of cannons, because now the chariot will be protecting the central pawn. It would not be a good idea. Another possible or feasible alternative would be c2 equals to 1, whereby red will immediately attack the horse with this move. The horse to the river. Chariot forcing it to move away. p3 plus 1 a sacrifice. Okay, we'll move. Now, it would not be a good idea for black to become greedy, thinking that he could gain material by threatening a checkmate, because red would go for pseudo sacrifice, and after sacrificing sacrificing the cannon, red could play p7 plus 1 to gain material. Horse and chariot cannot move. If the horse moves, the chariot is lost. If it moved here, it would capture it. So this would be a pseudo sacrifice, and red would have gained a pawn that crossed the river in the process. So c1 equals to 3 is too fast. Instead, black plays r4 equals to 2. He will move the horse over here, threatening the cannon. And red will simply move retreat cannon over here, still applying a lot of pressure on this elephant over here. So c2 equals to 1 is a feasible alternative, but red will have the slight edge. Now other possible moves would be to play r9 equals to 7, b9 plus 1, etc. Black is offering a trade of cannons. What would happen? Red would usually accept. If he played c8 plus 2, black could cannon over here in a very agile manner and be prepared to push the pawn forward to attack the elephant. Red would not have gained anything for his efforts, and his cannon would have been better left on this rank. 5, 6, and 9 plus 7. It's a very implicit counter, very far-reaching counter, and it's a very because to switch his formation, deal with the issue of this elephant that might be under attack from smothered cannon. Capturing, black retreats the horse again, controlling this file, and also he will be prepared to push the pawn across the river. Offers a sacrifice, pawn exchange, p1 plus 1, r9 equals 7, h2. Be an even situation, but black would have managed to push a pawn across the river. This is a very even situation. Now, in this board, red's file chariot and rank chariot earlier would have allowed red to control the situation. Now, although the pace is slow, but red could now deliberately push and advance his material across the river attack, but black would still have a playable game, because red's cannon horse structure was initially not very ideal. not an ideal situation. Now in variation A, although black's c2 equals to 1 would give the chariot a open line, but after maneuvering, red will be able to be prepared to push his edge horse to attack, so red will have the initiative. Now in variation B, p1 plus 1 was played. This would be a more implicit counter. Gain a very playable game, and also pawn that crossed the river. So although red is still even, but both colors will have their qualms going to the mid game. So I hope you enjoyed this short video. If you like the work that I've been doing, please do subscribe to my channel. Thank you.